for $20 off today.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Angie Winder, host of the RTV radio show here with my co-host, Brother Nance. I'm so happy to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm kidding. This is my brother, Nance. He's doing some great things, and he's out there in the community. So kudos to you, and thank you for all that you do. I did miss you, and I'm just looking forward to this great segment that we have.
Absolutely.
We have a powerful segment. I'm always saying it. Well, awesome. They like powerful and awesome is like my favorite words. But we have a great segment this particular day. And before I get into it, I just want to first, and I'm sorry, but I first want to just say that we had a great time in Annapolis. And then we do want to give our respect and our prayers to the family of House Speaker Mike Bush. We were there. The last day of session was yesterday. It was a great time. A lot of bills were passed. And so thank you all to our lawmakers that pushed so hard for us day in and day out. It is not an easy task. And I always try to stay neutral there. Good, bad, or indifference is definitely not a good task to do. But it's good when you know someone is doing it on your behalf.
Right.
Put that out there, right?
Message.
Yes, message. I also want to just say as well, we always like to acknowledge our last guest. We had the Quarantine Boxing Center founders here, Michael and Sarah. So kudos to you all for all the things you're doing in the community. Now, without look, he got me on the line. I do want to acknowledge today's guest of the day.
Absolutely.
We have Tasha. And look, last week, I don't know if you saw it, but I could not, I got a tongue twister with the name. Tasha Chance. So, Tasha
it is a tongue twister.
Chance.
Yes.
She's the host and founder of Women at a Stand. She is also here on today with some great ladies that are here that are part of the panelists. I am a part of it. So hopefully, Brother Nance going to get our little interview going good too.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. You supposed to just roll with the flow. Not rolled up.
Tasha, again, she's the organizer for Woman at a Stand, and she does have an event that's coming up this Saturday. We're going to be Sunday. Days and times, all Sunday that she's going to be hosting. We have Erica Janigan here, and she is the founder of Lexi's Little Bug. And we have Whitley Carroll here, and she's a part of Smile. You're one of the organizers. I just want to make sure I have everything correct.
Yes, one of them. Yes.
One of the organizers for Smile.
Smile. Okay. I know Miss Pugh.
So yeah.
I do know Miss Pugh, Dr. Pugh. I know that. Shout out to Dr. Pugh. I mean, she's no Pugh, but she's Dr. Pugh.
This panel, and she's unable to be here, but she is definitely on the panel.
Exactly.
So let's dive into it. What made you start, or even to decide on hosting such a powerful empowerment seminar brunch?
Well, I started with Women at a Stand 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
So I came up with this.
I mean, could you ask my first question that I was going to ask? Like, I had my first question, then you just dived in. I'm like, all right, well, okay, I'm just going to fill in, let me look like I'm a little bit important, you know what I'm saying? Right.
I started an organization for women that had suffered from domestic violence. I started it because I was in a domestic relationship probably 12 years ago now. And I know going through all of that, I realized that I had to work on things with me. So I started blogging. I blog. My blog site is Love Your Damn Self First.
You said love your damn self? That's what I'm talking about. Love your damn self. That's what I'm talking about. I'll find it. Love your damn self.
But love your damn self.
DJ Nicky Nick, love your
damn. And I talk about my experiences that I went through in my relationships and how I overcome them with the things that I have done. And I stress therapy a lot. Mental health is so important, especially when you deal with abuse. And I think a lot of women don't realize that, and they kind of ignore it and think that they can deal with it on their own. And I'm telling them, no, you can't. And you need that piece to start healing. Like, that's important. So that's why I wanted to start these empowerment brunches to get women together that have dealt with abuse, that have dealt with sexual abuse, that have dealt with some type of something, so that they can all network, they can all share their stories, they can be comfortable with sharing their stories, they can see that they're not alone, there's women out there that are successful. That's why I put together this amazing panel. Because I was
definitely looking at the flyer like, yo, they got some power players up on that shorty.
Because women always look at us and think, oh, they didn't go through anything. What do they know about what we're going through? And no, I wanted them to see that it is women in these positions that have been through what you have been through, and I want them to tell their stories as to how they overcame whatever that they went through, so you can see you can do this.
And you're not alone.
Right.
I think even showing that different perspectives from women that are going through, it may not necessarily be a domestic, it could be I mean physically, verbally, anything, but to know that we're not alone.
Yes, so and that's the most important part. So I'm hoping to do many more brunches. This is just the first.
Okay, I was gonna say this.
Oh, so this is the first one.
Yes, this is
damn.
the first
one.
Okay.
So this is the inaugural one. So is it gonna be like services and stuff available for people?
Yes, I'm working on my nonprofit Women at a Stand.
Okay.
So hopefully get my articles incorporated this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna start offering counseling services.
Okay.
Try to provide legal aid. Try to provide daycare for women, because
I know. Say that's major.
That's
right
major.
There.
I'm in the wrong business.
Hello.
Yes.
Facts.
Because I know when I went through my situation, I had no one. I had 3 kids. They was all small. Did not work. So I was starting from scratch. Had to find a job. Had to find people I can trust to watch my kids. Had to do all of that stuff. So I want to like take some of that off of women.
Nice.
Now, just that what you just said helped me. Well, not even helped me, but it just a light bulb came on. It goes back to being a village.
Right.
It goes back to, yes, these are the resources that are needed. This is the resources available. But then sometimes it could be I have a small child or children, and I can't get there because I don't have no one to watch.
Right.
So you're kind of doing a wraparound service, and that is a plus. And that again is what we stand for, is for Restoring the Village.
Yes.
Is to make sure that we offer every single thing that they have. It won't be anything to say, well, I can't go because I got a small child.
I can't
so
do
forth.
this. Yeah.
Now, it kind of even turned me to, when we talk about children, Lexi little bug.
Yes.
Right, because she do the transportation for the kids. You know what I'm saying? That's a dope idea too, though. Just FYI, like I thought that's so freaking hot.
So I mean,
I was gonna say, so how did you?
Yeah, about to say like how, like what made you want to do that, like?
So I worked for a huge bank here in Maryland, and of course business, they make decisions that's best for them,
right?
And it trickle effects on to the employees. So one of the moms specifically on my team, she was completely distraught because they was changing her schedule from 8 in the morning to 4:30 to 12 to 11, working weekends on Sundays. So you know, she was contemplating, because she was from Georgia, she didn't have a support system here. So she was like, you know, am I gonna have to quit my job? Like, how am I gonna get my kids from school? Like the whole, it was a mess. So you know, in that process, and I'm a solution finder, so I don't really like to say stuck on the problem. I like to figure out, like, okay, like there has to be some way for her to be supported for transportation. And at that time, I was, well, currently even now, I drive for Uber and Lyft. So I'm just like, there has to be some way. So I'm researching, and come to find out there wasn't.
Right. Nice.
So then in that moment, it was like, okay, well, I'm already doing transportation. I know customer service. I have a background with kids. You know, like I love kids. So I formed my company within 2 months.
Nice.
I went and, you know, filed the legal stuff to get it done, and now, you know, she's a startup and trying to keep her growing.
Ain't tried, you doing. You are doing, shorty. You doing, you know what I mean? Ain't no trying, you doing, you know what I mean? Like, you definitely doing that, so I definitely support you on that.
Yeah.
2 months.
2 months.
You got it. And it's
off the
very
ground.
much needed, because I remember being in Baltimore with 3 kids under 5, and I couldn't, and no transportation.
No transportation.
Toting them on the bus.
That's right. I know about that.
That's how my mama. That's how my mama got me around when I was a kid. We got on the bus, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that was needed. That is very much needed.
Definitely.
Now listen, when we talk about wraparound services,
Definitely.
and you talk about what's needed and how we about to go crazy, our mental health.
Yes.
Smile. That's the smile joint. I do know that. You know what I mean?
So can you talk about how you got started? And then we're going to talk about the seminar, but how did you get started with Smile?
So SMILE stands for Showing Mental Illness, Love and Enlightenment. And we got started, me and my cousin, we happened to reunite at a woman's brunch. Wow. We haven't seen each other in years, and we were close.
Wow.
We were close when we were young, and when we reunited at that brunch, it was so empowering. That's why I love empowerment brunches for women. After it was done, we were like, what can we do? What kind of business can we start together? And I mean, it came so quick. We talked about like childcare. We talked about different things, and instantly we came up with bringing awareness to mental health.
Definitely needed in our community, for sure. In the world,
sure,
but not just in our community, but definitely in the black community, because that's something we don't talk about. You know what I mean? And that's what we see running around here in these streets every day, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Young, old, and all that. So
yeah, one of our purposes is to, you know, remove as much negative stigma on mental health as we can. And, you know, we talk about on our page that it is okay to seek a therapist.
Absolutely.
We're trying to make it okay to, you know, and, you know, people kind of follow the leader when they see that it's okay with them. Then it's like, okay, they look like me. So if they saying it's okay, I want to do it too.
Absolutely.
But sometimes when you have people that look like you that's telling you no, 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 or older people that are stuck in their ways like, no, 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 you don't need no therapist, or I'm not going to a counselor.
One of them. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm one of them. You know what I mean? But the best thing happened is me putting my son in therapy. You know what I mean? And just hearing his voice from just like me sitting there having to listen. Because one thing to hear your children, but it's another thing to listen. You know what I mean? So the therapist allowed me to listen to my boy for the first time.
And that is what it's about, you know, listening without cutting someone off, letting them get it all out. See, what happens is when we talk to our friends that we think are our therapists and our best friends and our go-to person, they will cut you off while you're talking.
Give them their
you know what I mean? The therapist lets you get it all out without interrupting you. And that way, when you are an active listener, you're catching everything. You catch everything, and then you can go from there and help. But when you keep cutting somebody off, you don't get to the root. Because, you know.
Yeah, because my son was like, he was in therapy. Like, yeah, my dad said, like, therapy is for white people. And I didn't. But I told him it wasn't like.
That's the stigma.
I didn't present it to him like that, but he kind of regurgitated. That's how he received it. So I had to like kind of explain myself to the dude, like. But it was cool though, man.
Most men feel that way about.
I mean, I think most brown people. I don't think it's just a men thing. I think that's a brown people thing. Period. You know what I mean? Because I think even with all the different movements and things that's going on with like the Me Too's and this and that, like a lot of things be swept under the rug in the black community. So I'm just glad that we do have not just women but men stepping up to and empowering some things that we need to go on in the community. Dang.
So when we talk about the listening part. The listening, we acknowledge is very important. What all can someone receive during this brunch? Because I know we're going to do a lot of listening. But what do you even take, from us receiving on that day?
Hopefully networking. Hopefully, because I know I have been attending a lot of empowerment brunches lately, and I have been meeting a bunch of amazing women out there that are doing amazing things. So hopefully that networking part, like women actually meeting other women they never seen before, connecting with one another. My thing is, when I first started this, I wanted to at least reach out to one woman. If I can help one woman get out of that relationship, then that makes my heart happy. Like this young lady reached out to me Saturday after an event and just thanked me for just sharing my story, and she felt like she just needed to start sharing her story now. So stuff like that really, that touched my heart. So if I can do that to at least one woman, I'm happy. I did what I was supposed to do. So,
and we have just to look at the goal. The goal is like you just said. If you can look at it and make it smaller, and say just one. It's going to be many more. I see that, but when we do that, it is so much better on our mental health.
Yes, it is.
To just narrow it down, and don't go at it like I want to grab every woman in the 30.
Right. You gotta meet people where they are. You gotta meet people where they at. You gotta meet people where they at, man.
You know, it's funny that you said that because when we started Smiles, one of our first meetings, we talked about at the end of the year, our first year, we said we want to end the year knowing we helped at least one person instead of saying 10, 20, one person. And at the end of that year, we wound up helping at least two.
Nice. So both of y'all did y'all. You know what I mean? That's what's up.
Because that's the whole purpose of nonprofits to me. That's because you're doing something that you're passionate about. You're doing something that you really care about, and you want to see a change. So it should never be about numbers or profit.
Right. You got this line. I like you just not seeing it. I was like, I look back over. I'm like, so look, I was actually putting in groups. Please make sure I like interaction. So if you have any comments, you can go on our right.
Well, it was a comment. Page. We did have a comment. Okay. Someone said, "I know people who stayed because the abuser was the caretaker."
Yeah, I was
which is true. Which is true.
I stayed for 7 years because this man was financially taking care of me, and I had 3 kids before the age of 23. So he was my support system. So I did stay for the longest because of financial reasons. It wasn't because of love. It was for financial reasons. But then I got tired of the abuse, and my kids was getting older, and they was starting to see it, and it was affecting them. I had to break loose. So.
And I like that you even said that your children were watching.
Yeah.
There's things that I know, me personally, had to cut loose because how does that look for me to do X, Y, Z, and I expect them to do better? Like I have to set the example and know that they're watching.
Right.
Even down to that 4-year-old of mine.
And they're very observant.
That's my girl, man. Everybody say that's my baby right there. Don't be talking about her. She loves the Palmingo.
When I was leaving yesterday to get on the road to Annapolis, she said, "I love you, mommy." And so she's really the real MVP throughout this whole sacrifice of running and everything else. Taken away from my time with my children is a lot, my mental health is being
tested.
Need to reach out to Whitley.
But listen, when she said at 4 years old, kind of on and off of the subject, but what she said at just 4 years old, "Mommy, I love you, give me a hug." And she said, "Go ahead to Baltimore City." I mean, of course I knew what you meant.
Right.
But at 4 years old, it was like, do what you want to do.
Right.
And at 4, and I'm just looking like, God, like, is that my sign? And not even just that, my village is strong. That's why I think it's very important when you're saying, look, don't let, we have someone that can babysit, and we have someone that you don't have to worry. Just come and get what you need.
Because me being a case manager, I see that those things are stressors.
Oh, yes.
So I see what is needed, and I'm like, okay, I just want to alleviate all of that. But pity begging, I have a 17-year-old daughter that I'm doing this for now because she will be 18 in July. And it's like, okay, if I can't be that example of that woman that I need her to be, then who's going to be that? So, and I know that I'm affecting her some type of way because of the choices that she's doing now. She's going away to college. She want to help other people. She want to be a psychiatrist. So
nice.
I'm doing this for her. I'm doing this for my 4 boys. So we have to do it for our children. If anything else, we have to.
Absolutely.
Now, when I walked in to talk about the children, and just not even just our own, I know for me, it makes so much of a big difference when I know I can give back, and it's not just affecting my own. Because we gotta kind of sometimes I've heard some people say like, well, as long as my children, I'm doing, but that's not the right thing to have. And not to say you have to start a nonprofit or you gotta have a podcast or you gotta do this great thing, but even if you can do one thing, touch one child, you're making a difference. I'm just saying that this whole interview is like in a loop. I'm just saying. So I went to Joe Gamble Foundation. He had an event and he did some amazing things for some of the youth in the community as far as football. That was his thing, right? But what really stood out was that there were young that was a young, well, it was like, I don't know, elementary school age. But there was one that was about 9 years old, and he was outside, I'm leaving, and he said, do they have any food in there? And so I said, yes, but where's your parents? You know, like I'm sitting here, and then I was like, why do you have that bandana on? You know, and I began to chastise him with love. And I also said, come on in. I mean, I was broke that week. But I said, what do you need?
Yeah, what she said.
Know, and I sure did. I'm very open, transparent.
We need sponsors, baby. We need sponsors. We need sponsors for the radio show, baby.
Donate. But to be honest, I asked him what did he want. It was 3 of them, and they all asked for a funnel cake. At first, I was just like, look, I'm getting 1 funnel cake and y'all share it. But I began talking to him, and I began to say, look, I'm really big on this whole village, and I hope that I touch that young boy's life, because he clearly was walking in. I forgot what it was, Matthew A. Henson School. He clearly was walking in, had a bandana around his face. Not to say he was going to do anything, but it was the perception that he had seen somewhere, and he thought it was okay to walk around with this, like a gang member, you know. And so I said, I'll get you and your 2 family members, because they were brothers. One was a brother, one was a cousin. I'll get this for you if you take that off and you throw it away. And I said, I don't want you to walk around like that. He told me he went to the school.
So you hit him with the straight whole auntie, grandma, sister, all that. So you was like the real live adult out there.
He got rid of it. He might want that. I don't know. But he dropped it at that moment. I bought them 3 funnel cakes. And at the end of the day, he was hungry. That was my moral of my story. At the end of the day, we don't know. It could be the smallest thing.
It is small, very small.
That person was just hungry.
Yeah,
or that
absolutely.
person just needed to listen or to talk. So this is going to be a great thing. And I don't even know if you said it, but the vision board. Can you talk about that? I love it. This is my first time doing it, so I'm really excited.
So when is the date of the joint?
It's Sunday.
The 14th?
Yes.
Like this Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday. Yeah, the tickets on the
Right,
but he answered all these questions.
I just saw that, like I said, I can tell you where you was at on the flyer. You was on the right hand side.
These interviews are scheduled way in advance and he gets tagged. But listen, I'll let you say exactly where it's located, and can you talk about like every single thing?
All right, please.
So the vision board thing, me and my cousin actually started doing vision boarding like 3 years ago. So what she would do, she would get together a bunch of women at the beginning of the year, and we would go over goals and stuff for the year, and we will create a vision board with our goals on it. So we want a vacation, we'll put that vacation spot on there. If we wanted
vacation isn't one being a
if we wanted finances, we'll put money on it, whatever it is that and then we will meet back up quarterly to go over our vision.
See how much you accomplished.
So follow up is going to be in the future.
Yes. Yeah, it is. So I have learned a lot and I have accomplished a lot doing these vision boards.
Absolutely.
Because if it wasn't for these meetups, I wouldn't have started Women at a Stand. I wouldn't have followed my dreams of blogging. I wouldn't have
so all this came from the vision board?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
almost finished graduate school. So this particular first brunch, I decided to do vision board, but with affirmations of self-love.
Right.
Because I know when I was going through my stuff, I would write down affirmations and stick them on my mirror, so that every day I'm reminded, okay, I am beautiful, I am strong, I can do this. So these vision boards will be surrounded around our affirmations, so that you'll have this constant reminder of how amazing you are.
Right.
And then each brunch, I'm going to do a different thing with the different vision boards.
Nice.
So,
I mean, vision boards are definitely cool. I used to do them with my students, and I do them every year myself.
Okay.
So I like kind of knocked everything off. But vision boards, for real, it's a feeling thing.
It is.
When you're doing it. Sometimes you may like do a vision board and it's all pictures, and sometimes it's all words. Like it's just the vision boards are definitely.
And it reminds you, because before vision board, I ain't vacation nowhere ever. I ain't never jumped on a plane since vision board. I've been jumping on and off planes, been going on and off islands. Yes, like, cause I be like every year I'm taking 2. Yeah, because every year I make it that I take 2 vacations.
Facts.
Every
Self-care,
year.
man. You need
Self-care is
self-care,
important.
baby.
So yeah.
So I want to add on to that. Vision boards are powerful. When I come to your event, this will be my 4th one. Last year I did one with all words. And when I say, the saying, speak things into existence, when I say I put about 7 goals on there, I just didn't complete one. I mean,
but
completing
6 out of 7, that's a
goals. I mean, I put on there the type of pay. That's why sometimes when I talk to people, when I tell them, oh, I'm declining this job with this pay,
because you know your worth.
It's because I know my worth and I know what works. When I put on there last year a certain salary that I wanted to make, it came in existence. Facts. And so the next year I said, well, I want to level up since I know that this came true. Level up, those vision boards are powerful. I mean, it was amazing. I think everybody should have goals.
Absolutely.
When I checked those goals off, I mean, it was amazing. Like it's a wonderful feeling when you put those things on your vision board and they come true. It's like
especially moving in the world where everything is just like so microwavey. You know what I mean? It's like to have a long-term goal and to reach it. You know what I mean? Short or long-term goal, just goals in general. Like I think it's a powerful thing. So I agree with you.
Well, this vision board will be all words too.
Okay.
Because affirmations are words.
Nice.
No, it's cool because it's still some things I need to work on and get some more. And I like how you say quarterly because like I said, like. It's still some things that I need to work on. Some things on my vision board that's cool, but I feel like I can use another one.
Right.
So what come to my mind? Over here, I'm doing my vision board. Okay.
Just she doing the verbal living.
The verbal
one. and the Lord answered me. Write the vision. Make it plain on tablets so he who reads it. That's the first thing that just came to my mind.
It's so true.
That is true.
It's true.
Yeah. Please use that at the event. Because I don't know scripture.
So how is the panel going? Like, what is the panel consist of? What.
Well, I wanted to get a variety of women that's doing a variety of things. Okay. So we got Angie, Miss Future Councilwoman.
Facts.
We got Whitley and Tori that are freshly new entrepreneurs. They just got that nonprofit. They dealing with mental illness. Nice. So we're going to touch on mental illness a lot. We got Erica that's also started her business. She took what she was passionate about and said, okay, I'm going to do this, and went out and did it. I have Nima Ali. She's a celebrity makeup artist. Okay. She goes around doing empowerment brunches a lot, and she speaks on the abuse that she witnessed her mother, who is also speaking, Dr. Nala Ali. When she was young. So we got a mother-daughter duo that's speaking on abuse. Dr. Nala Ali is also a life coach, and she's an author. So she just wrote her first book. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it right now.
It's okay, it's all good.
But I try to get, and Dr. Nala Ali, she's a little bit more seasoned, so she can give a better perspective on things, and she's also have that spiritual background because she's a life coach, but it's the spiritual
base. Okay, that's good. So is it going to be young? Somebody asked on my comments, is it going to be young women there, or just get for women in
young
their 20s,
women
30s?
Young women. My 17-year-old daughter is definitely coming. My son's girlfriend, that's 18, will be there.
Nice.
My daughter is. My girlfriend asked, could she bring her daughter? I want teenage girls to be there because I think that if we can start now with the young girls, then they can. Because I see how my daughter is. She don't tolerate no BS from anyone.
Her mother serious.
Yeah. So you gotta start with them. So I have a Mommy and Me ticket that you can purchase on Eventbrite, because a lot of women have been asking, can they bring their daughters? So, yeah, definitely.
That's a good plug, bro.
Yes, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So where is it going to be? What time?
Yes, I mean, that was my next question on my list. That was my next question.
let him answer his questions.
He hasn't been in 2 weeks. Okay?
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to answer my 2 questions.
God.
I had 2 strong questions.
Oh, my God.
2 good ones.
It's gonna be held at Expectation in Ellicott City.
So
Expectation,
like
yeah.
the EGG.
Yeah,
Right.
you never.
No, but how do you pronunciate it?
Yeah. Okay. Oh God. From 4 to 7 on Sunday.
Okay.
We have an room. When you come in, you will see where we'll be at. It's gonna be an awesome event.
So, a particular reason you chose that space, or?
I had an event at this space before. I also advocate a lot for colon cancer.
Okay.
So I do a lot of events throughout the year for colon cancer. So I did one of my events there, Sip and Paint. So.
Nice.
And they really work with nonprofits. Like they
so
really
you official like nonprofit?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
But my colon cancer.
It's a nonprofit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Somebody wrote that on here too. Like,
yes.
That's what we're gonna be saying. So when I share
Write
this,
the
I'll
vision.
write the vision.
So when like on the panel, right? So people gonna be able to ask like each individual person questions because everybody do like kind of different things.
No, I want the audience, the people that are attending to be able to ask questions. I want that interaction between the panelists and the people that's attending.
Like sometimes you attend like things that's panel is like a talking thing and it's not a groove. You know what I mean?
Because this is a empowerment brunch. This is not like the brunches that you see a lot for businesses.
Right.
Like you go there so you can learn how to accomplish
How to
business.
deal with it.
Yeah.
This is my book I just purchased.
This is a brunch that so you can be able to like look within yourself to see, okay, what is it that I need to change within myself to become successful like these women that I'm seeing before me. And I want them to be able to ask questions. I want us to be able to answer them as open and honest as we can. So
you're creating like a sisterhood.
Yes. And that's the whole point of Women That Are Staying. It's eventually going to be a sisterhood.
Okay, it's already a sisterhood.
Yes.
Already.
Yes, it is.
We got to talk about this. We got to change this trend.
I want to give a shout out. So Tasha, this is her first time. Is it her first time meeting in person?
Well, no, we met.
No? Okay.
We met. This is probably our second time meeting in person.
I don't know. But I did. Well, I was just gonna say I don't think she has. But this is her first time on the show. But second time actually. If you kind of remember when we talked about the child support segment, Tasha called.
Oh
in.
yeah,
So
that was you called in. Oh I knew your voice. I'm sitting there like, yo, why her voice up? Yo, she definitely went in on that.
She's very vocal and she's very hands-on, and that whole empowerment, I see it going beyond. Like your voice is going to speak for so many who feel like they can't. Right. You know, and you spoke on the fact that you on the other. I'm on the man
side. I was like,
saying you are going to bring something different, and that's going to kind of just throw it just a little bit. A couple of segments ago, I don't know when, you had Kimberly LeBou on. And,
is that the one from Hawaii?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's on my tip.
But she actually, if you ever want to publish a book, this is the person you need to
go to. Definitely.
I don't know exactly if you can see it or not. But the reason I just brought that up, I was already going to put a plug in for her. But I started reading the book, and I'm trying to get into it because I'm moving so much, right? But this actually takes my mind off of politics, people, places, things. When you're reading. And reading something else. And the reason I just said it to you, girl, I'm about to I'm not trying to preach in here. But I said when you're gonna speak to people who are being ignored. And the name of this book, Set Apart and Chosen, you are chosen specifically for that. And everything you've gone through is because you're going to go in a place where you're going to meet people that have been overlooked.
Represent for the
you're
voiceless.
You're going to be a representative
for the voiceless.
That. And that's what came to my mind when I just
I really that's my main purpose because I know I was overlooked when I was going through it.
When you just said that, all the things you were going through, I always say it's not in vain for the things that we go through.
Definitely.
It's very uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. And I'm also going to just kind of, I'm like the host and but we're going to do this. I like that you broke it down to each woman to kind of work in that area. I don't even want to say lane, but their expertise or the things that they've gone through. I'm thankful that you chose, and I let you choose it, actually. I didn't ask for it.
I was about to ask you, like, what are you going to be talking about?
So she has me down, so she just sent it out every time. My point was,
like, that was my point, like, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk
about? Set apart and chosen. I said, whatever you want me to talk about, let me know. And I'm grateful that I was chosen to speak about the grief in my life, losing my husband, and the triumph from that.
Right.
And I chose you for that because I honestly been meeting. I had one personal girlfriend that is still going through the grieving process. She lost her fiance 2 years ago, and now she's trying to figure out her footing in life. And I think that if she can start hearing from women like you and like she can figure it out, and there's so many women out there that are still going through grieving process that haven't fully grieved yet, and they still figuring it out. So that's why I chose you for that, because that just came to me.
Angie Wayne said, "Get it together, Angie. Don't cry."
Oh my God!
But no, I'm so passionate about that, and I'm going back to this book again. Kimberly, she actually chose. I don't know how many is on here. I'm not counting right now, but she chose. Authors in here.
Yeah, that's a good book. It's a good book. I can't lie. I actually read a little bit of it too. It's a good book.
So each part of it has a woman that she chose to speak on their things that they're going through, right? Yes. And it just reminded me of what you're just doing now. So yours is kind of like that virtual, hers is the book. But you're doing the same thing, set apart and chosen. God uses ordinary women to do extraordinary things, and she just chose random. I don't say random, but God specifically chose these women.
So you basically saying that the correlation goes with everybody that's chosen for this brunch, inaugural brunch, is part of like how she laid it down on the book tip. Okay, I was trying to see what the segue was, but I see the segue, and that was good. That was good, Angie.
It's ironic
that was good.
Today when she
that
wasn't
was good.
Even last week. It was just more so. This is what
she was here the last time I was here.
From this, and so next topic would be mental health.
Absolutely.
And I'll let you talk about why you chose Smile.
I chose Smile. I've been friends with Tori for a very long time. So when I actually saw that she teamed up with her cousin to start this amazing organization, I'm like, okay, I just have to have them there. I had dealt with mental illness personally, depression after my abusive relationship. But I also have a mom that has autism. So I always dealt with mental illness all my life. So it's nothing new to me. But I think women are they deal with their own personal mental illness and they're undiagnosed. And I think an organization like Smile is really needed in our communities. I've been doing case management for so many years. And
so let me ask you a question. So how have people received Smile in the community? Like how has individuals.
So,
we appreciate Smile because Smile has done some things with RTP.
Angie.
You taking away this whole
I appreciate you.
I mean, we know you appreciate it. We're talking about the people that's out here listening, like the people that's out here that you work with, like, randoms that you see, like, what I mean?
So, listen, we're still small.
It's okay.
But with us being small, we had 2 different people reach out to us and they wanted a therapist, and at first we but we decided to be mentors. And you have women that are not comfortable seeing these therapists because you went to this therapist but you're not feeling them, and it's important. Getting a therapist is a process.
Right.
Sometimes you don't just get one, and it's discouraging because once you go, you see, this is what everybody talks about. So. The 2 young ladies that we have mentored, they came to us because they were struggling from anxiety and depression, and that's the most common mental illness to cope with.
Absolutely.
And these young ladies came to us, and we worked with them for about a year now, and they're much better. Like when they came to us, they were kind of, I don't want to say broken, but they were suffering from anxiety and depression, and we helped them out.
They were challenged.
Yes, they were challenged, and we helped them out to the point where I think we were talking to them at least maybe once a week, and now it's like once a month.
Right, that's what's up.
And
because that's good, because that means they're learning to cope with how to deal with their own challenges.
And they call us as needed. And also with Smiles, we get random calls from people who are suicidal, who
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, things like that, or they're young.
So it's like
are suffering from like.
So is it like a contact number, or like 1-800 something? Or
no, we don't have a 1-800 number. We use our personal numbers.
Damn, so y'all that connected.
Mm-hmm. We use our personal numbers, and a lot of people hit us up on social media or word of mouth through friends and family. Like, hey, I have this. I know somebody that's looking for some help. Is it okay if they call you? But yeah, we get those calls, and they are. It's sad.
Listen, I'm a former school teacher, so I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely sad. Mental illness is real.
So we help families cope with it too, and we give them the resources that they need, because we're not psychiatrists. So.
They're about to say, because Tori, she's a nurse, right?
Right.
And what's your background?
My background right now, like just recently, I got trained to be a community health worker.
Okay.
So basically, a community health worker, we give out resources.
Okay, so that's a good component.
To families, and kind of basically what Smiles do. We kind of, we are the navigators for them. Like, and say if, when you get information from a doctor, and we are the ones who
y'all the buffer.
Basically, this is how it is. The doctors, they handle the physical needs, and we handle the social needs.
Nice.
So that's
so you break down what they may not understand.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Because doctors will give you a paper
and
just send you on your way.
And they looking at this like, I don't know what this is, but
you have a lot of people that don't even comfortable with asking the doctor or calling. Hey, what
absolutely.
Is this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So we're the
middleman.
And they got to realize that they got to realize the doctors work for us. We don't work for them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So we're the middleman, basically.
That's what's up. The middle woman.
Middle woman. So
yeah. And also, women that stand and smile. We've been doing Christmas donations for the past 2 years now. So we collect Christmas gifts and give to families in need.
Yeah.
So.
In fact, the homeless.
Yeah. I was gonna say smiled and did came out for our National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims.
Nice.
We're very active in the community.
I know. I see y'all online. I mean, you know what I mean? Dr. Pugh, that's a good friend of mine. I know she's a nurse, but I tell her she's Dr. Pugh.
Yeah, she ain't far from it. She just one step away from it.
Yeah. You gotta speak things into existence.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Erica,
and then I was gonna say Erica, she is
she's
actually
just killing all my questions.
I was gonna say Erica is actually a part of our
Good.
You gonna write that?
Erica is doing it.
I'm just gonna scratch this question off my list.
I'm not gonna ask a question. I was just gonna say Erica is actually a part of RTV. She's very helpful, and I'm gonna turn it over to.
No, she's on.
She's one of the panelists because he didn't do his homework. What category is she in?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I just know she's probably like the second position down on the flyer. You know what I mean? I know everybody's positioned that on the flyer. Like, cause I researched the system right here. Cause I clicked on her name. Her name was on the joint. I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm just being honest. Okay. So you made me lose my whole train of thought. Like,
this is the fun we have.
So, what are you going to be talking about?
Because
because I mean, I had a whole different play, but it just threw me all the way off. So I don't, I had to ask a very direct question, and then maybe it'll flow off of that. You know
So I mean, for me and being an entrepreneur, it's just being given like the real story behind.
So you're a full-time entrepreneur.
Full-time.
High five to that shit.
Full-time.
You know what I mean? Facts. You know, we on the same wave on that. That shit real.
But no, it's being able to show like the real story, like not that fake belief.
Right.
You know,
that Facebook,
that social media perception.
Everybody got them pretty faces and all these awards. You know, it's
right.
the real stuff. You know the real problems, the real situations that goes on when you have to make decisions in business, and business affects especially when you in the beginning. Not 5 years, 10 years in. You know, when you a new entrepreneur and starting a business, like, it's hard.
Right,
and
it
people
is.
don't tell you, like, the raw.
Not
so much, you know, but the real road, like
Yeah.
that brick by brick layer of what you building, and then like having to deal with the sacrifices.
Absolutely, the sacrifices are the key.
Right.
That's the part that breaks most entrepreneurs. They can't handle the sacrifice piece on the noise and the edge. You got to quiet the noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I wanted to ask you a question, like, because I see you have done a lot with like different foundations and fellowships and stuff like that. So how has that journey been, far as trying to like crossing over into getting to the table with those that are decision makers and having that money?
Oh, he hitting you at the juggler. God.
I do my homework, baby.
Oh man, I need to politely answer this question.
No, keep it real. Keep it 100.
Because certain situations are like happening. Like,
I understand. Say no more. I'm part of the Johns Hopkins one, so I know.
You know, we can all. I can sit here and say, you know, I live around and I have a strong foundation, a strong support system. And a lot of people have said that they would help me and be supportive, but then I've learned a lot about people.
Amen.
And
Say that again.
Having to deal with.
Hold on, Angie. I got to come back to that. Go ahead.
You know, it's having to navigate through the image that you help people, but on the back end you really don't help people. So
absolutely.
you're not really helping me, but you, for the sake of your own image and reputation, you say that you are. And it's just something that I've learned. Like, it's not really to where I can pinpoint. I mean, I could say certain people, but I'm not.
But has it? So
it doesn't
I guess
matter.
so. That's what I'm saying. So
regardless.
that's what I'm saying. So being that I'm going through the BNLP, which is, I mean, I'm anti Johns Hopkins. Anybody know me know that, right? But I had to go in there to infiltrate the situation. You know what I mean? And they noticed. I mean, they let us talk about these things. You know what I mean? So that's what made me the lead to ask the question, because I see that you've been surrounding yourself or working with a lot of people that are doing great things. So how has those, I guess, connections or fellowships or like women, or I don't know, like how have those things like helped you on journey of entrepreneurship? Because your business is kind of unique, and sometimes, but it's not kind of, it is unique. And like, you know, sometimes people, when you're working with other organizations, they try to put their hands on it and change what it is, where you have a core mission for what it stands for you. And that's kind of hard when you're dealing with other people's money, you know what I mean? And you got to hit checks and balances. So that's why I'm asking the question, how has that been? Because a lot of people need to know that, especially those entrepreneurs that are trying to go in that world in Baltimore.
I try to just control my own narrative. And if, for right now, because I don't want to give up a part of my company, I'm taking the harder route.
Absolutely.
I have to get out there, and I tell people, and I'm going to just be real right now.
Keep it 100.
Smile. I am a client of Smile.
Okay.
I came to Whitley and Torrey at a time where I was transitioning out of working full time in a steady career to being pushed out the door, and now you just gotta survive in what you do.
Yes.
So at that point, I mean, now I look back at it like, you know, I know God was just setting me up to go for what I'm going for now, because I wasn't, at first I was trying to do both and doing too much, and it was like,
burning you out. This
is your baby, like, I'm giving you this vision, this purpose. And I wrote
nurture it, like feed it,
like,
give it everything it needs. Don't neglect it.
All the time, and in business, and just trying to connect and grow something in general, you have to network.
Yeah, you
and
have to.
Yes.
My network.
Follow up.
So strong. Like, I haven't been given $1 million, but the amount of support and resources
support
that
is worth way more than money.
Me is because of my work ethic, and they know, like, I show up consistently. And
you definitely be doing your thing. I ain't gonna lie.
She did.
You be doing you be doing it. They don't be trying. You be doing that, sister. Don't get it confused. Yeah, like Erica, I ain't gonna lie. I've been watching your journey, y'all. You been doing the thing. Like, yeah, keep pushing. You know what I mean? I wish I could be that a little bit more, but you know I'm in the grind too. You know what I mean?
But that's also the real part about it, and they know this. Like, I try to show up for everybody, but I've learned that I can still show up and say that I can't be there. Because that's me not
there you go.
wasting your time. It's letting you know, like, hey, I want to support you.
Absolutely.
But I got a lot going on. You trying just same way you know what it takes to grow
Right.
your
Absolutely.
organization.
Absolutely.
What it takes
Absolutely.
to grow mine.
Absolutely.
So I share flyers, I share everybody events if I can't go regardless. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like you be doing your thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like so, I'm excited that about your event on the 14th. You know what I'm saying? April the 14th. You know.
It was Let's Talk Love.
Let's Talk Love.
Let's Talk Love is the theme.
Let's Talk Love. That's the thing. I did see that on there. You know what I mean?
That was the thing.
That was like in black. It was in black.
And I have been working on a second part of Let's Talk Love. I've been connecting with some awesome women in Charlotte.
Okay.
So, second series will be in Charlotte.
Yeah. I love Charlotte. I love Charlotte.
I like the travel ball.
I love Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I'm just so like amazed that I'm getting all of this support and I'm getting this amazing feedback to even do this. Because at first I just thought this was going to be something small and tedious, and it's getting ready to become something.
So what is your so my question is, so what is your end goal? Like, are you going to have like a woman that'll stand like homes and
my
you know what I mean? Like, what is
my
your
end goal is having a transitional house. I'm in my last year of graduate school, so
what are you getting your degree in? What are you getting your degree in?
Human Service Administration.
Okay, congratulations.
With, concentration in rehab counseling.
Nice. Yo, black women, y'all be doing it.
Yes.
I love y'all.
But I drafted up my business plan for the transitional house like 2 years ago.
Yo, so why you so what's your target date to launch that? Because you don't have to wait to do that.
Oh, I know.
I'm all about the now, you know what I mean? Because it's about ownership right now. Like our community and our people are under attack for real. You know what I mean? So if you have a vision and you're close to getting it done, why not network and align yourself with people? So when I see that there's a whole bunch of strong women on a panel or a bunch of women working together, I'm thinking everybody's relationships are aligning. Like, well, she does this, you do that. We don't need this person credit. It's like, yo, let's just get this space and let it work to get the people right.
What
like, you know what I mean?
Learning to work on, because honestly, these women on my panel, I just met them.
That's why I was
I never been a person that had many friends. I always been the loner, the lone shock. Like I go out do what I need to do.
But you know what? I mean to cut you off, but you know what? That's the problem. Like we are black people. We are tribal people. Like we're not individuals. That's not how we roll. Like we are strength as a tribe.
I really had to change that way about me.
We are tribal people. Like we are tribal people.
I started talking to Tori, met Whitley, then I met Erica and Angie.
You talking about part 2 and Charlotte and everything else. We definitely need to do a part 2 of this show because it is coming to an end. Is that good, Grandma? Yes. So we are getting ready to end our show. This was a powerful segment. It was an awesome segment.
Great questions by Brother Nance. Great questions from Brother Nance. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for my guests coming on.
Thank you.
If we can, in like 30 seconds or less, could you just let people know how they get in contact with you?
Yes, please.
My personal page, Tasha Chance. Instagram, love your damn self first.
Love your damn self first, baby.
Twitter, love your damn self one.
Love your damn self, the blog, Twitter, all that.
And I have a blogger page. All right. LoveYourDamnSelf.com.
Love your damn self.com. That ain't just for men. That ain't just for women. That's for men too. Love your damn self.
One of our best contacts to reach us is Smile, the number 4, Baltimore.
And
Smile 4, Baltimore.
And all the Smiles ladies are pretty, just FYI.
Erica, 30 seconds left.
And you don't come for me.
My
like
IG is she.is.me, and the business is Lexi's Little Bug, and that's on IG, Facebook. Yeah.
You gotta be under a rock if you don't know what that is, shorty. In Baltimore. Facts. Tell them about yourself, Angie. You ain't the host. Tell them who you are.
So what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna throw this out really quickly. I'm gonna do my little 30 seconds.
All right, 30 seconds.
But tomorrow, Mervo is doing a Mervo 410. But they're inviting the community to come out. You can see what the students are doing. Alumni can come out, speak to the students, and so forth. So it's a great time to give back. Also, Jackie and Joe's Feed the Homeless Drive is Saturday, April 20th from 10 to 2 at 620 Causeway. If you want to support, please make sure that you reach out to me. I will put the flyer out. They've been a great help in our community. RTV is strictly for restoring the village and working together. This was a great segment, and we thank you all for tuning in each and every Tuesday. We thank y'all for just sharing it and just being a part of our village. See you all next Tuesday, same time, same place. Thank you for your support. And vote Angie Winder.
See, she didn't even let me give the little closing, but Angie Winder. We win with Winder.
We win with Winder.
You feel me?
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace and health.
Today's broadcast was brought to you by Vistaprint. Create powerful promotions that are easy to design and hard to miss. With Vistaprint, it's easy to customize your business cards, marketing material, corporate gifts, calendars, stationery, and more with confidence, or get real-time design help. Visit radioonfire.com/Vistaprint to get $20 off any order of $40 or more. If you have a message to get out, you want it to be affordable, but you want it to look professional. Visit radioonfire.com/Vistaprint for $20 off today.